Many people refuse to acknowledge what's right in front of them. Instead, they choose to create excuses to protect a couple that never truly existed outside of the narratives people push online, often built around content that looks polished, promotional, and designed to sell an image. And now that more and more people are exposing the holes in those claims with simple facts, like the reality that it's not only Jungkook and Jimin who wear chrome hearts necklaces, but also Mingyu, Namjoon, Jennie, and G-Dragon, those same people suddenly have nothing left to say. At this point, they should stop pretending they don't understand and start accepting what's obvious. They've also invented yet another story claiming Jungkook liked a Jimin video, basically copying the same type of claim they once made about Taehyung's video. The difference is clear. Jungkook did like Taehyung's video, and it was supported with real screenshots. But with Jimin's video, every time people ask them to show the page where Jungkook allegedly liked it, they don't provide proof. They only provide excuses. They don't show actual evidence. That's nothing like what happened with Taehyung's video, where a girl openly posted screenshots that clearly showed Jungkook's account liking the video. It's honestly sad to see how desperate some people have become because the couple they want so badly isn't giving them the signs they exaggerate and stretch into fantasies. Meanwhile, we're watching Jungkook getting closer and closer to Taehyung, and that's the truth they can't erase. And this is the real difference. Some people need to manufacture stories, while others simply watch what's happening naturally every day without needing to create fake evidence. That's exactly why the chrome hearts necklaces became such a huge topic. They're the perfect example of how wearing the same accessories doesn't automatically mean two people are secretly in a relationship. Because if matching jewelry meant secret dating, then Mingyu, Namjoon, Jennie, and G-Dragon would also be in hidden relationships with Jungkook and Jimin, which is obviously ridiculous. And no one seriously claims that because it would sound absurd. That single, simple fact destroys the entire argument that similar items are proof of a special relationship. What's strange is how some people completely ignore logic when it comes to their favorite couple. They reject the same reasoning they would immediately use to shut down any other pairing they don't support. They bend reality for one narrative, then demand strict evidence for every other one. And that hypocrisy is impossible to ignore. Now let's talk about the liked videos situation, because this part is even clearer. For Taehyung's video, there is concrete proof. For Jimin's, there is none. In Taehyung's case, screenshots showed Jungkook's account liking the video, with details visible that made it easy for people to verify. But for Jimin's video, it's nothing but words, no supporting screenshots, no clear page, no real proof, just claims. And this basic difference is what separates facts from fabrication, something certain people refuse to accept because it goes against what they want to believe. The truth is extremely simple. One claim has evidence, the other doesn't. One is real, the other is imagination. What reveals even more about all of this is the way Jungkook and Taehyung continue showing their closeness in ways that feel natural, unforced, and spontaneous, without needing to create a scene or seek attention. Their moments aren't staged, they happen organically. It's visible in how they laugh at the same jokes, how they gravitate toward one another, and how they support each other in stressful or difficult work situations. For example, Jungkook hugged Taehyung at the airport and pulled him close in a way that looked completely effortless. It didn't feel calculated, it felt instinctive, warm, affectionate, and natural, like something they've done for years without even thinking about it. And that's the point. These kinds of gestures aren't new. They reflect a habit built over time. They've had years to develop the comfort they share. And that comfort shows itself in the way they move around each other and the way they naturally seek closeness. When Taehyung and Jungkook are together, they don't look like they're performing, they look like they're simply being themselves. And in moments where they think nobody is paying attention, they appear even more honest, more open, more genuine, more natural. There's a strong need for closeness between them, and you can feel it when they share those private, intimate moments. Their connection is noticeable in the way they constantly drift toward each other, as if being near each other is the most comfortable place to be. The affection they show feels real, and it often comes out as a need for physical proximity, small touches, subtle closeness, instinctive movements. Sometimes it genuinely makes people wonder how they manage to hold back when cameras are everywhere, because whenever they think nobody is watching, their hands seem to find each other without hesitation. Like that moment behind the curtains when Jungkook, not wanting to wait, placed his hand at Taehyung's waist and pulled him closer, seemingly believing no one would notice. The gesture itself might look simple to outsiders, but it hits people deeply because it feels intimate, familiar, and emotionally charged. And watching interactions like that can bring mixed emotions. On one side, it's comforting and heartwarming to see the pure affection they share. On the other hand, it's painful to think that for them, these kinds of gestures might have to remain rare and protected, small moments they can't always freely express. For most people, hugging and holding someone close is normal, it's every day. But for Taehyung and Jungkook, it can look like something they have to treasure quietly, like a privilege stolen in short seconds. Over time, they've developed their own silent language, the way they communicate with glances, subtle gestures, and movements that say what words don't. That quiet communication is powerful because it feels personal, like something only they fully understand, but others can still sense. And their moments don't always look the same. Sometimes they are subtle, like that behind-the-curtain closeness where their proximity said everything without a single word. Other times they're more visible, like the airport hug, where the affection was obvious and harder for people to dismiss. Those shifts show they can adapt. They understand environments, they sense who is around, and they regulate how openly they express things depending on the situation. But the most impressive part is that no matter how subtle or how obvious the gesture is, the affection still feels equally sincere. There are moments when Taehyung and Jungkook appear to forget what's around them. The cameras fade, the people fade, and their focus becomes only each other. In those moments, their need to express affection seems stronger than anything else. Like that airport moment people talk about, where it felt like Jungkook didn't just hug Taehyung, he looked emotionally intense, as if he was about to take it even further, almost like he wanted to kiss him. Whether people interpret it that way or not, the intensity people felt from it is exactly why it became a topic. Over the years, Taehyung and Jungkook have shown that their relationship is built on support and unwavering closeness. When one is struggling, the other becomes calm and steady. They don't need dramatic speeches or public declarations. Their care shows up in quiet ways, thoughtful glances, small smiles at the right moment, and constant attentiveness that reveals trust. They don't chase attention. They act like two people who know each other deeply, and the confidence they carry doesn't depend on online opinions. It's built through shared experiences, mutual respect, and the kind of bond that grows stronger through time. Even with the pressure of public life, Taehyung and Jungkook have found genuine ways to show affection. They've created their own style of understanding, one that doesn't always require words. Sometimes the smallest gesture is enough for the other to understand everything. That connection becomes even more noticeable when they share a broadcast or stand on the same stage. The atmosphere changes. It becomes softer, more intimate. The way they look at each other, the way they react, The way they stay aware of each other doesn't feel random. It feels like the result of years spent growing together. If you watch closely, you can see how they seek each other out. Even surrounded by other people, one glance can say more than a long conversation. When one talks, the other listens carefully. When one smiles, the other responds immediately. Those reactions don't look forced, they look natural, like emotional synchronization. And that's what matters most. It's not about loud moments, it's about repeated patterns of small actions that happen again and again naturally. Over time, that repetition becomes stability. It becomes a relationship that looks consistent, comfortable, and deeply familiar. Their connection reflects two people who understand each other without needing constant explanations. That mutual understanding is what makes even the simplest shared